thing I really miss about congregation life is the kids. The kids, they're so adorable. I remember when I was first ordained back in Buffalo, just before Rosh Hashanah, I was in the preschool. And I wanted to talk about the holidays. So I spoke to them about Rosh Hashanah, about the history, the theology, the customs, the practices, the ceremonies. And I felt I'd done a good job. And when I finished, I wanted to see what would be the reaction of these young leaders of our Jewish future. And it came very quickly when a little girl sitting in the front row pointed to me and said, "That man got glasses!" Well, I learned my lesson to abbreviate things. Just before Passover, I was in kindergarten. And I was just trying to explain to the kids the difference between being a slave and being free. And when I finished, I said, "Now, how many of you are free?" And they all raised their hands, except one little boy in the front. I said, "Aren't you free?" He said, "No, I'm 4." I love the assemblies. Kids stood up at the assembly reciting bits and pieces of Jewish wisdom. The reason Moses stayed on the mountain for 40 days was he had extra lift tickets. And King David fought against the Finkelsteins. When I was in seminary, I taught Hebrew in one of the religious schools. It was the late 60s, which was a difficult time to be teaching Hebrew because that was when we made that transition from the Ashkenazic pronunciation to the Sephardic. All the O's became A's, all the S's became T's. I realized I was making some headway, though, when one day one of my 6th graders walked into class and proudly reported that his grandparents had just returned from gambling in Las Vegas. And I was in, I think it was the 3rd grade, they were all writing creative prayers. One little kid wrote, "Dear God, please let there be world peace." Another child asked for an end to hunger. A 3rd child wrote, "Dear God, please send clothes for the girls in my daddy's magazines." Told that to a minister friend of mine. He said he was in his Sunday school, 3rd or 4th grade, and he said, "Now, who can tell us about the resurrection?" One kid said, "If it lasts more than 4 hours, call it out."